Good evening, I'm Prasad. The Perikatan Nasional government's days in power may be numbered, as Umno is set to meet tomorrow to decide whether they want to stay with PN or to pull the rug out from under Muhyiddin.
The Umno Supreme Council is expected to meet tomorrow to determine the party's position in the Perikatan Nasional or PN government. According to Umno sources familiar with the matter, the decision will be made at the meeting tomorrow, following the expiry of Umno President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's 14-day ultimatum for Putrajaya to heed the royal decree to reconvene Parliament. Parliament has been suspended since the emergency came into force on January 11. Last night, top Umno leaders held a meeting with party MPs in Kuala Lumpur amid speculation that they would withdraw support for Prime Minister Muhyiddin. Meanwhile, when contacted, an Umno Supreme Council member confirmed that a meeting is set to take place tomorrow, which will be held virtually. However, he did not reveal further details on the meeting's agenda.
So we've had a state of emergency, movement control order, a full lockdown, and now an EMCO. But the results of all these measures are still nowhere to be seen as cases soar.
The condition in the Klang Valley appears to be worsening, with the Health Ministry reported today that over 60% of all new COVID-19 cases were from Selangor and Kuala Lumpur. With 7,654 new COVID-19 cases reported nationwide, Selangor alone reported 3,260 new cases, followed by Kuala Lumpur with 1,550 new cases. This is the highest number of new cases reported in Kuala Lumpur since the pandemic began. This comes just days after several parts of the Klang Valley were put under an enhanced movement control order, which will last until July 16. A total of 34 sub-districts in Selangor, including Cheras, Kajang, Sepang, Rawang and Klang are affected, as well as 14 localities in Kuala Lumpur. Meanwhile, Health Director General Dr. Nohisham Abdullah revealed today that a total of 60% of COVID-19 cases from workplace clusters in the first month of the nationwide total lockdown were from factories. This made up 18,065 cases from June 1st to July 1st, according to data presented by Dr. Nohisham in a briefing to Chambers of Commerce last weekend. He presented that in this period, 436 of all clusters were detected in workplaces, while 227 cases were from the manufacturing sector. A total of 85 of these manufacturing sector clusters were located in Selangor, 60 in Johor, 24 in Penang, 14 in Kedah, and 13 in Negeri Sembilan, while the rest were distributed across the other states.
Ronnie Liu has landed himself in trouble with the cops again, but before that, Malaysia needs a free press more than ever, and being an independent media outlet can be tough. This is why we need your help to help us continue doing what we do. Click on the link in the description and find out how you can contribute. Police have opened 2 investigation papers on Sungai Pelek Assemblyperson Ronnie Liu over what happened at the Rawab Court Complex in Pahang yesterday. A heated argument occurred between DAP representatives and several police personnel during a press conference. The DAP leader was there in support of 18 durian farmers, including a 17-year-old teenager, who were brought to court for a remand order hearing yesterday to facilitate the Forestry Department's investigations into alleged trespassing. Lee will now have to present himself at the Rawab Police Station to facilitate the investigations. Pahang Criminal Investigation Department Chief Muhammad Yusri Othman said the investigation against Liu will be done under Section 186 of the Penal Code for obstructing a public servant in discharging his duty, and Regulation 17 of the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases, Measures Within Infected Local Areas, Regulations 2021. Also present at the court complex yesterday were Rawab MP Tengku Zulpuri Puji, Bentong MP Wong Tak, Trust Assemblyperson Chong Yu Hui, and Belut Assemblyperson Lee Chin Chen. The latest flare-up started when the farmers tried to harvest their produce on the disputed land, but were blocked by the Forestry Department and police. Non-essential factories in enhanced movement control areas appear to have gotten MITI approval, but according to a MITI source, the approval letters are void for non-essential sectors in the area. MITI, the International Trade and Industry Ministry, has reportedly issued approval letters for workers of at least 2 factories and 1 office in non-essential sectors to operate in areas under the Enhanced Movement Control Order in Selangor. The matter came to light after workers lodged complaints with the Malaysian Trades Union Congress. MTUC Selangor and Federal Territories Chairperson Wan Nurul Azhar Muhammad Anafia said the workers were from 2 electronic factories and 1 research division of a company in a non-essential sector. The factories and offices are located in Klang and Teluk Panglima Garang in Kuala Langat, both districts under the enhanced MCO. Wan Nurul Azhar told Malaysia Kini that the workers were told to come to work and stand by, when in fact these businesses should not be operating under the enhanced MCO. Previously, Senior Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob said only factories producing rice, bread, sugar, cooking oil, wheat, fresh milk, baby formula, medicine and face masks would be allowed to operate throughout the EMCO. The manufacturing sector is believed to be not the only non-essential sector in Selangor to have received the meaty letter. A social media user this morning also shared a similar letter issued to an employer in the non-essential retail sector. There is a COVID-19 outbreak at HKL and the Health Ministry has taken measures to contain the spread. An individual admitted on July 1st is believed to be the cause of a COVID-19 outbreak at the Kuala Lumpur Hospital's male psychiatric ward. As a result, 10 individuals from the ward have tested positive for COVID-19. This was confirmed by Health Minister Dr. Adham Baba. The affected ward has been frozen, with the existing patients kept in the ward. The minister said HKL will not close down its wards even when new COVID-19 cases are detected at the hospital. Speaking to Sinchu Daily, he explained that the ministry would just freeze the affected ward or compartment to curb the outbreak. This means existing patients will remain in the same area, while no new patients will be admitted there. This is meant to monitor the patients connected to the zero-case beds and those who had close contacts with the infected patients. Adham added that HKL will operate as usual and new patients will be placed at unaffected wards. All staff members in the ward identified as close contacts in the latest outbreak have been tested.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Now we know that UMNO is set to meet tomorrow, and according to one UMNO leader, the outcome is obvious, and it's not the outcome Muhyiddin would be happy with.
UMNO's Puat Zakashi appears confident that UMNO will quit the Perikatan Nasional or PN government by August 1st. According to Puat, a majority of UMNO Supreme Council members had decided to pull the plug on PN, but there is still resistance from MPs who are not part of the Supreme Council. On June 21st, Party President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi issued a 14-day ultimatum for the PN government to reconvene Parliament. Coincidentally, on the last day of Zahid's deadline yesterday, the Prime Minister's office announced that Parliament will reconvene on July 26 and will sit for 5 days. Despite that, Puat said PN's decision to reconvene Parliament won't affect the party's plan to quit the coalition. In an interview with Sinar Harian, Puat explained that UMNO's reasons are clear. It stems from the government's failure in various issues, particularly on the management of the COVID-19 pandemic and economy.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.